Howdy folks, this is Jared at Fluty Homestead, and today I'm down here in my little workshop, and as you can see behind me, I've kind of got my little place getting set up pretty good now. Got me a little workbench here. You see I've got my workbench set up here, got a good post vise here, and I've got a few of my tools starting to hang up. But today, now that I have a little place to do something, I thought it'd be a good day to talk about these swarm traps. It's February, and you know spring is right around the corner, so I'd like to have these ready to go by March. That way when the weather starts warming up in March, I can go ahead and start getting these out and get them placed. And this year I'm going to try to put out about 5 or 6 swarm traps, different locations. I'm going to put out 1 or 2 here at my holler where I live, and then I have some friends I'm going to put some over at their places, and hopefully we'll catch a few swarms this year. If I catch 2, I'd be really happy. So I'm going to show you some of these boxes I have, and I kind of show you how I'm going to set mine up. And I'm going to have these all ready to go. That way when it's time to hang them, I'm ahead of the game. Okay, these swarm traps, all these are is these are old beehives that have been cut apart, and these have been put together in the size of like a nuke box. If you know anything about honeybees, a nuke would be like a half of a hive that started when you buy it, you know. But this would be a 5-frame box, and the top of this one is just 3/4 inch plywood with some little lips nailed on it, and that's all this one is. I have several of these that my friend Jack gave me, and I'm really appreciative of that. I built a few before, but I like these. These will already have the notches for your frames to sit down in and stuff. And the only thing I'm going to do to these, the bottom is nailed on, and this one has screen on the bottom, and I'm not sure, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to try a few with the screen and a few without the screen and see if it makes a difference on my swarms. Okay, now this hive, I'm just going to put the wax foundation in it, just as they are out here. Nothing special. If you have some other bees and you have some foundation that the bees have already drew out and it's old and used, that's going to have good smells of bees on it. So I'll put 1 frame of that in here, and that would be really, really good. But this, I don't have any, so this is all I'm going to do for this one. And now, got that in place. Then whenever I am ready to set it out, all I'm going to do is I use this lemongrass oil. This is essential oil from Walmart, and you can buy a product called Swarm Command. It's a little spray bottle, or I think you can get it in an oil, but it is supposed to be the Catch Me Out, but I've never tried it. But I may get a bottle and compare and see which one does better. But all this does, it mimics the pheromone that a bee puts out once they have found a new home. If you have a swarm somewhere and their little bees are out scouting around trying to find a new home, when they find a place, they put that pheromone, and that's saying, hey, we found a place we like. So that's supposed to mimic this. That way it smells like a bee has already found this home, so this is it. So after I get this frames in, I'm ready to put them out. Don't put it in now, wait till you're ready to hang them. I take a cotton swab, and I take a little bit of this oil, and I'm going to rub the top of these frames just a little bit. Then I rub the entrance here, a little bit of it, and then I just drop my cotton swab down in the hive. That's what I've done. And now, then you just put your lid on. And for this little box, I'm probably just going to take a ratchet strap, small, cheap ratchet strap, put around it, and hold the lid down. You could screw it down, you could put a strap around it, bungee, however you want to do it. It wouldn't matter if you duct taped it. Just as long as you can hold it secure and hold it on. Another thing we've got to look at is these entrances. They're kind of big for a hive. A young swarm of bees, you know, they're not as strong as an established hive, so it's harder for them to protect an opening. So I'm going to take some blocks of wood. This is just a rough example, and I'm going to cut just a small notch in it, and that way they just have a smaller entrance here to protect. And then you could screw this right to it, brad nail it. A lot of these swarm traps, if I build any new ones, I'm going to do this probably. They take and they drill a hole in the front of the box, and then you can buy these little metal disc, look like a jar lid, and they have a hole in them, and they have one nail in it, and they have small holes on the other side for a vent. And that way, once you're ready to transport them, you can rotate it, and then the vent holes is covering the actual entrance, and that way the bees are secured inside and they have air coming in. If you just block these off with a piece of wood and screw it in there, and this is secured down tight, this one has a screen bottom, so it wouldn't do that. But if you're solid bottom and everything is sealed up and it's hot outside, you're going to suffocate them bees and kill them. So you got to have a little air coming into them. So this one, like I showed you before, this one has screen on the bottom. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. We're going to find out this year with a screen bottom, and I have some that's solid. So then all I would do is I'm going to pick me a tree somewhere and hang this up. With a ratchet strap, I'm just going to strap these to a tree, set it on a little limb or something, ratchet strap it to it, and that's all I'm going to do. Let it wait. I'll show you another swarm trap that I made, and I have a little different system for hanging it. Okay, here is the first swarm trap I ever attempted to make, and I thought I needed a metal roof on it, keep it out of the weather, but just plywood's all you need. These ain't out year round, for years at a time. So I went a little overkill on this. It don't really look good, but it worked. I did catch one swarm with it. And I put the handle on here on the back. This is just all plywood, and I put this little handle with a hole on it, so you could either put a lag bolt up in a tree or on a post and hang it up there. You could take a saw, cut a little limb off and hang it on there. So it kind of gives you more options to hang one. You could put screws right through this wood onto something, so that works out really good. And you see here, I just have a hole in the front, and then this is easy to transport. Like I said, you can take a jar lid, pop some holes in it, put over this. You could put a piece of screen door screen, take you a staple gun when you're ready to move them, put over that until you get them to where you want them. And this one is the same way. It holds 5 frames, just plywood. And this one, the only thing I've done on it, if you notice, beehives have a dado cut in them for the frames to sit in. This one, I just let the sides of my bee hive here come down lower than the front and the back, and that way my frames sit right on top of that. And I'll get a frame and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is just an empty frame, don't have any wax or foundation in it. You see, I just let mine, this sits right on top of this plywood, and then my lip on the side, it comes down and it covers it all up good. So this may not be the best setup, but it does work. And I do it the same way. Put a little bit of the wax, or the oil on the frames, a little bit around this entrance, and hang it up and wait and watch. Okay, here is my third swarm trap that I'm going to work on. And I am going to try, I have, let's see, maybe, I can't see them all from here. I think I've got about six of these boxes now that my friend Jack gave me these. I'm going to try a couple of them. I'm just going to clean them up really good, and I'm just going to put empty frames in one. And then I'm going to take a paint stick like you get at Lowe's when you buy paint, and I'm going to put a piece of wood in this crack. The paint stick is real thin, and it's about the size of this, about, almost maybe a quarter, that ain't quite a quarter inch. But I'm going to let that stick down. That way, when them bees get in there, they have somewhere to start their comb. Because if you can imagine, the bees, when they build their comb, you want it to, go nice and straight down. But if they don't have anything to start with, like foundation, they're more likely to build it sideways, crossways. But from what I've read and seen on YouTube, if you put a piece of wood here and let it stick down, that gives them something straight that they're going to start off of. So I'm going to try one swarm trap like that. And then I have some more foundation. I'm going to fix a few more. I got to buy a few more frames. Excuse me. I got to buy a few more frames. These frames that I have, some of them's getting old, and this one's in pretty good shape. but I got some that's getting kind of rickety, and I have a few that the bottoms are breaking, and I just need to replace a few of them, get some that's nice and new. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reduce the entrance on it, and just like the other one, this is just plywood with a lip on each side. Strap this baby down, it's ready to go. Now I'm sure you could take this same kind of setup, and you could add you a stick here on the side of it and have you a place to hang them, and that would work wonderful. So I may actually do that. I may get me a piece of 1x, and I may add me a lip on these with a hole in it like I have my other one. That way it's easier to hang. I could hold that up, screw it down, be ready to go. Well, I thought I would just come on here today and show you my little swarm traps that I've been down here putting together and getting everything accounted for and see what I need. And hopefully this will inspire you to get out and to try to catch you a swarm of bees. It's a whole lot cheaper than buying them. So for just a little bit of money, some scrap plywood or an old beehive, a couple dollars of essential oil, you could start the bee business. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hope you have a very blessed day.